My name is Suzanne Hoffman, and I am the Superintendent of Schools in the Vancouver School District. Today is Monday, April the 6th. The purpose of today's message is to communicate with staff that are working with the students throughout the Vancouver School District, and to talk at a high level about what some of the overarching lenses are on the continuation of learning and what that might look like for our students and in our schools. I'm going to start by saying thank you. This is week 2, and I know week 1 was a tumultuous week because of the uncertainty and the lack of clarity around what our roles and responsibilities would be. We asked that health and safety be the first and most important factor that we overlay with our work. And then we talked about communicating with our families and also making connections. And I just want to thank each of you for the role that you had in ensuring those 3 things as week 1 came to a close. We now look to week 2. Week 2 is around the continuation of learning and what that might look like for our students, our learners within our care. I guess as we're looking at what the continuation of learning might be, I would ask that you are calm in your approach, that you're thoughtful about your work and what it is that you are doing for your students, and that you really manage expectations. This is a huge undertaking. It is a fundamental shift in the delivery of education as we know it. And we need to manage our own expectations of ourselves and what we're capable of. And then also being that thoughtful presence around what are the expectations we're putting on our students and on our families during these uncertain times. There are 3 considerations that I think are really important as we contemplate what this learning might look like for those within our community. The first one is learning together. Education has always been a partnership between home and school. And we know that relationships that are strong and healthy with our families really serve our students better. So now how do we do that in a very different way, but still recognize and honor that the connections that we have with families, with our students, are of paramount importance. The second consideration is around learning in a new space. A new place, a new space, and in a new way. And acknowledging that this learning for all of us is a journey and that there are multiple pathways to have students enter into and engage with you during these times. And there is no one-size-fits-all solution. So things will vary from teacher to teacher, school to school, and that's okay. But we need to be on the path, we need to be on the journey, and we need to be looking at how we can successfully interact and engage with our students. The third premise, filter we're putting on is learning for all. And so how do we meet the needs of those that are most vulnerable in our system? Whether that be technology, whether that be our learners with exceptional needs, how do we make sure that the work we are doing is inclusive of all within the Vancouver School District? As we look ahead to what the next steps might be, we have communications and connections that are important under that umbrella of learning together. We are going to be providing you as we learn in this new place and space with some supports. You can expect from our Associate Superintendent of LIT some information coming out to you so that you can look at innovative and creative ways to really engage with our young students and our learners within our system. And then a priority for week 2 is around the vulnerable students and how can we give them access to resources and how do we meet the needs that are a challenge for some in this new learning environment, and what structures and systems can we put in place to support them. I think lastly, what I'd like to share with staff is just how thankful we at the district office are for you and the work that you're doing and the connections that you're making with students. There are so many wonderful things happening in our school district, and to each and every one of you, whatever pathway you choose in the next weeks and months ahead, we're thankful. Have a great week.